show. Yeah, it's time to start the show. Off the top rope, 4-figure leg lock. Ric Flair with the chest chop. Haterers wonder why I never tap out. A young king like DeMarcus. Undertaker with a coffin. Choke slam so often. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Man, the boy keep flossing. Man, the boy keep talking. I'm with David. I'm to say. And I got something to say. And I got something to say. Start the show.
Coming up soon, my little brother
Alejandro Joaquin. Keisha Joaquin.
The moment we all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. History will be made.
Joshua Jones. Anthony Jordan. Veronica Jones. Milan Joseph. Samuel Joseph.
Yeah! Sammy!
Deontay Kearns. Jiro King. Abigail Kieran. Alexandria Kopak.
Wrestling with Things coming at you for a whole nother week, giving you all sorts of discussion on all things entertainment and pro wrestling. And if you want to follow all of our video content, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Wrestling with Things and like our page on Facebook at Wrestling with Things. But before we get into this Money in the Bank predictions for this Sunday SmackDown Live exclusive pay-per-view, I just would like to give a big shout out to my partner here for graduating. We've been partying all week, partying all weekend. In fact, you'll get a clip of the footage of the graduation ceremony before this video starts, and I'd like to give you a big shout out, and on behalf of our people, our friends, and our family, our loved ones, we wish you nothing but the best, and we're still going to be here along the way. The journey only starts from here. Appreciate it. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty Money in the Bank predictions. This is an interesting card, Sammy. I think the two ladder matches are definitely the juicy, meaty part of this steak right here. Let's start with the kickoff show. Let's breeze right through this. There's not much story to this. The Colognes are going to be facing Breezango, and I got Breezango winning because they're on TV more and more important right now. It's just filler.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with that. And you know, Breezango at the end of the day puts on the better television, and they're also the more interesting characters. So yeah, it's an easy victory.
Next match, the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Naomi going one-on-one against a surprise Lana.
Yeah.
I mean, I do see where they're going with this, right? I mean, here you have the women's revolution where women are being taken more seriously and women are getting time with their storylines and matches, and then out of the blue you get this Russian blonde bombshell who's gorgeous, she's hot, let's be honest, who's getting over with the crowd from being a diva, which is kind of what they're moving away from in the first place. So the irony of the story kind of works, and that's what makes it interesting. And I don't think Lana will be a great in-ring performer. She won't be like a Charlotte or a Becky or a Bayley, but I do think for the simple fact that she's something different in this era of women, she could use that last diva gimmick to her advantage, and she'll get over because the crowd's already into her to some degree. So who you got in this match?
It's very true, and everything that you said is exactly point on and right, and that is exactly why Lana will take this women's championship.
That's a bold statement.
That is exactly why.
That is a bold statement.
The fact that at the end of the day, people can say what she wants about her. She's not the best in the ring, but she is dollars. She's beautiful and she is dollars and she's marketable. It's kind of exactly what Eva Marie is.
Yeah, it seems like she's slightly filling the void, but she had already had the crowd reaction from being Rusev's valet.
And at the end of the day, she can run her mouth.
Yeah,
she's someone who can run her mouth.
She proved that
We've seen that,
against some of the men.
Yeah, she can run her mouth, unlike Eva Marie, and that's what is going to keep her alive.
All right, next match on the pay-per-view is for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champion. You know who I'm going with here. The New Day's here to take over the SmackDown Live division. They took over at Raw. We're the longest reigning in history, and I see them making even more history on SmackDown Live. I mean, they're just going to give the division the shot in the arm that it needs with the power of positivity. But I expect the match to be good, and I do not think this is the end of the rivalry.
Very true, but yeah, they're just definitely going to take it away from the Usos because, you know, Usos, they're just not like, they're not as good on television.
You know what? I'm going to have to call you out for once. You always coming at me asking me, what is it going to take for Cesaro and Sheamus to earn my respect? What is it going to take for the Usos to earn your respect? They were Raw Tag Team Champions before this brand split. They were always at the top of the tag team card.
It's true.
And now they're at the top of the SmackDown Live card, and they reinvented themselves from being the Samoans that fight for good and justice.
You're getting me all wrong.
And they're the stalker thugs now. It's working. You can feel how you want, but it's working.
You're getting me all wrong. I never said that they're a horrible tag team, but they're just they just can't hang with the pack. Every time you notice they're
still up there.
How they're only still up there because the division is so weak.
That's not fair to them. That's not fair. You're gonna minimize their skill and their consistency. They're just a model of consistency. They're the staple. They're the glue that holds.
I give you that. They're not horrible, but at the end of the day, notice every time they're successful, it's in a weak division. When the real division came through, they go down more and more and more. That it's a pattern with them. You know, that's why the New Day is just gonna take it from them. It's gonna be done quick, easy.
Next match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, the Viper Randy Orton go on one-on-one with the most unlikely champion of the last 3 to 5 years, the Maharaja Jinder Mahal. I do not see a need for the title to change hands here. I think Jinder Mahal holds on to the title a little bit longer, but at the same time, I do not see Vince McMahon for as much stock and for as much of a bone that they are throwing Jinder Mahal. I just can't picture him entering SummerSlam, the second biggest pay-per-view of the summer, as world champion. So something tells me between after Money in the Bank and to SummerSlam, he'll probably lose it on the SmackDown Live episode, but to who? I can't quite put my finger on it quite yet, but Jinder Mahal wins this match.
I really don't see it any other way. I mean, at the end of the day, Randy Orton he doesn't need the championship.
He does.
Jinder Mahal he's being good right now with the character that he was given. He's developing a good rhythm. Keep it on him. Why not?
And I know we say that a lot, like so-and-so doesn't need it because they're a veteran, but in this case, Randy Orton really doesn't need it. And I think it's proven a lot in Randy Orton's career that as a babyface champion, he is not that great.
It's true.
Moving on to the SmackDown Live first ever women's Money in the Bank match, we're going to have Becky Lynch versus Natalya versus Charlotte versus Carmella versus Tamina Snuka. There's a lot of good options in this match, Sammy. Let me hear who you got. I'm interested in this one. There's some wild cards in here.
You know, from the first start, I was really thinking they were gonna go with giving something to Charlotte just so she can make history more. But now that I'm looking at it, I think they might actually give it to Tamina Snuka.
Wow.
She has a very monster character. She needs to build some type of dominance.
That's a curveball. I didn't expect to hear that.
She has to build some type of dominance because at the end of the day, she has that factor that she's bigger than them. Just the way Nia Jax has it.
That'd be interesting. I think it would definitely get people talking. and I think it could be effective if they build her up the right way. She's never really got a proper build. She's been around for a while, but never really a proper build. I've gone back and forth on this, but I'm going to say Carmella does take this. I think out of all the women in this match, she shows the most promise as a heel right now, and just as a character overall. What she has over those other women is she knows how to play up to a character. And at the end of the day, pro wrestling / sports entertainment, we identify with characters. Stone Cold Steve Austin would be nothing without the beer and the swearing. The Rock would be nothing without his people eyebrows and the catchphrases. Carmella and James Ellsworth, they play off one another really well. And I think Carmella's going to hold on to that briefcase and be the first ever Miss Money in the Bank. Moving on to the main event of the evening. The male Money in the Bank match featuring Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler versus AJ Styles. I know this is going to be a little controversial, and I know on numerous occasions I have said I do think he's a year away or so, and he's not ready quite yet. But the more and more I see how they protect him, I would not be surprised if Baron Corbin wins this. For the simple fact that I do not think he's quite ready to grab the title right here and then. But he, like I said, you could hold the briefcase up to 1 year, so he could hold on to that, and they could continue to build him until he's ready. So I think Baron Corbin sneaks up with the briefcase.
I really don't think his time is arrived yet. I really feel like there's more to his character that he just needs to revolve around. But when you look at the lineup of guys that is in front of you, the most ready guy that automatically sticks out like a sore thumb is Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't understand how he doesn't escape with this briefcase. I don't get it. He's ready now. He's coming in. He has the mystical character that the people just eat up every single time you see the guy. He has to take this briefcase.
You're not wrong with anything you say, but some would argue, and I do think Shinsuke should be relevant sooner rather than later, especially in the Elite Company on SmackDown Live. But at the same time, some would argue that he hasn't built any momentum. He is over, and the crowd does eat him up, don't get me wrong, but he's only had a feud with Dolph Ziggler. I mean, Baron Corbin has been protected and putting on good performances for months now, to his credit, and I do think the briefcase is best suited on a bad guy. So, and we've seen that in history, because the bad guy sneaks in and takes advantage. But I wouldn't be opposed to Shinsuke Nakamura winning at all.
It is true, but I gotta pose this question: how many bad guys can you give it to? You know, because usually when we see the briefcase, it's usually heel. Why not do something different?
Yeah.
And give it to somebody who's gonna come straight up and like a man in your face and cash it in. We haven't seen that since RVD.
Straight up like a man. I like Birdman. If you think Shinsuke Nakamura is gonna win the Money in the Bank ladder match, or if you think Natalya Neidhart is going to win the first ever women's Money in the Bank match, leave a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at Wrestling With Things. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Wrestling With Things, and follow me on Twitter at DavidJoseph95 for all live tweets and information and video content.